Hi, I'm Amanda Dold, and I'm doing my presentation on Elliot Eisner. Some would argue that Elliot Eisner changed the way that schools today teach arts. He has striven to better improve the arts and how they are taught. He has a profound view on education and how education is linked to art. He has a deep love for the arts, and he has a great deal of enthusiasm for the artistic activity of other people. Elliot W. Eisner was born in 1933. He spent his childhood growing up in the west part of Chicago. As a youth, he expressed talent in the arts, and his mother encouraged him in this area. He went on to study at Roosevelt University, Chicago. There, he earned a bachelor's in art and education. While attending this university, Eisner's focus changed to more of art education. He continued on through school, attending Illinois Institute of Technology and finishing at the University of Chicago with his Ph.D. in education. After finishing school, Eisner went on to work his way up in the art education department. He started as an art teacher at a high school in Chicago. Then he became an art teacher at the University of Chicago, eventually working his way up to becoming a professor of education and art at Stanford in 1970. From early on in Eisner's career, he became concerned in the way that art was being taught in schools. He felt the schools were not properly giving attention to the artistic modes of thinking. Eisner stressed the importance of art in schools, and not just art, not just giving a kid a crayon and expecting his creative juices to start flowing, but to really teach art. He felt that this was important to the growing child. He feels so strongly about that he has published 16 books on these topics. Some of these include The Educational Imagination, The Enlightened Eye, and The Kind of Schools We Need. By creating and being involved in many projects aimed at bettering the arts, Eisner has helped to change the way schools look at art education. Some of these projects include the Kettering Project. This project provided untrained elementary teachers with materials and skills needed to teach arts properly in these classrooms based around his theories. He served on the advisory board for the Getty Center for Education in the Arts. This program is well known for discipline-based art education, or DBAE. This way of teaching based its curriculum around four main areas: art production, art history, art criticism, and aesthetic inquiry. He has also served as president of the NAEA and the International Society of Education Through Art and the American Education Research Society. Elliot Eisner has also shown an interest in educational work as artistry. This type of work allows educators to look beyond the usual way of thinking and teaching about things and develop a more creative way to do so. This can be illustrated by an example. When a group of educators are in a meeting and are listening to someone speak, when they take the concept that is being discussed and are able to morph it and use it to the best of their particular circumstance, this quality is artistry. As educators, we need to be able to take an idea and twist and bend it to get what we need out of it. Not everything will work for our situation. It is our job to figure out what will work and be artistic about how we go about using certain principles. Elliot Eisner said, "Artistry, therefore, can serve as a regulative ideal for education, a vision that adumbrates what really matters in schools. To conceive of students as artists, we do their art in science, in the arts, or in the humanities. It is, after all, doing a daunting and a profound aspiration. It may be that by shifting the paradigm of education reform and teaching from one modeled after the clock-like character of the assembly line into one that is closer to the studio or an innovative science laboratory, might provide us with a vision that better suits the capacity and the futures of the students we teach. It is in this sense, I believe, that the field of education has much to learn from the arts about the practice of education. It is time to embrace a new model for improving our schools." Elliot Eisner has a profound way of viewing education that I have never thought of before. I would have never considered teaching an art form, but the more I think about it, the more I agree with Eisner. I think that if we take his advice and think of teaching more like a science laboratory rather than a conveyor belt system, then we will be able to better teach our students and shape their lives in a way that will be more beneficial to them and to society. I think that it is becoming more and more important in today's society to view education in this way. It seems that public schooling is becoming a conveyor belt for students, in which children just go through this process just like everyone else. And in a way, that is true. There has to be some sort of order and a system, but we don't need to teach all students the same. As educators, we should view education as a canvas, open to all possibilities and able to become something beautiful. Thank you.